Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to the Morale Booster with John Ughulu. And today I have here with me a very important personality. He is a seasoned entrepreneur in the clinical trials sector, and his name is Dan Sfera. Dan Sfera is the CEO of DSCS CRO. It's a clinical research organization. And Dan has so much experience that he would like to share with us today, especially to those people who have been looking for ways to get into the clinical trials or clinical research industry. He will be able to talk to us a bit about that. So Dan, could you please introduce yourself and tell us who Dan is?
Yeah, I'm a business person. I lucked into clinical research industry like most people do. Got in on accident, but before, like sometime around college, maybe even a little before, I had the business. I had business affinities, right? Like even as a kid, I would want to like sell things. I was always looking for ways to create money because I didn't want to depend when I was a kid on my parents, later on an employer. So I always had that in me. But then in college, I was reading books about business, and my major was pre-med, so I was molecular biology major. So when the opportunity arose, and I got really lucky to get into research, which most people get in by accident. Same with me. I was no different. I got really lucky to even be allowed to get into the research industry. And I think it was that time, it was perfect timing because the things I was reading, they were all business stuff. So it was teaching me how to look for opportunity. And I got lucky in the sense that the opportunity came really quick. And I saw the opportunity as not just having a clinical research job, but doing something more, like having an actual research site. So I was able to take over the site that I worked at. My dad was actually working there. It was a very small site, and he had a couple partners. Everybody left. All the coordinators left. So it was just me, and my dad was going to close the business because it wasn't really doing anything. It wasn't making money. And I still was hanging on to the hope that I would get into medical school. And when I realized, hey, this is probably not going to happen. My grades were not that good to get into medical school. I was looking to pivot my career. So I thought, hey, CRA seems good. So let me do this for a little bit, and then I could be a CRA. Like worst case scenario, I'll be a CRA, which is not bad. It's not a bad career. So I took the risk, took over the company. Like I had to put all my savings into it. And this is why I say I got lucky, because the opportunity was there, but I wasn't married. I didn't have kids. I lived with my mom. So I didn't really have expenses. So if this were to occur today, I'm not sure I would have done the same thing, although probably, I would like to say I would have, but it was just luck meeting the right opportunity, meeting the right mindset at the same time. That's what happened.
Right. Okay. Sounds good. That's a good one. So, well, I know there's so many people out there who actually think, they have to go to med school to become, to get into the clinical research industry. And this is a good opportunity for you to really talk to those people who are watching this program now, give them some tips, like mentorship programs, let them know how they can go about getting into the program, because I know it's a very lucrative industry, and it's an industry that has come to stay for, forever. Research is the main thing. Without research, nothing works. So can you please give us some tips on how people could get into the industry?
Yeah. Talk to more people about research. I mean, that's the bottom line. Like, and this applies to any industry. Like if you want to do more, I have a lot of friends in the real estate space. If you want to do more real estate, talk to more people about real estate. If you want to do research, guess what? talk to more people about research. Funny things happen when you put yourself out there. Now, a lot of people, and rightfully so, they email me, they find me on Instagram. They say, hey, Dan, you know, I have no experience. All these jobs want experience. Okay. And so what can I do? How can I get experience if I don't have any experience? How can I ever get experience? So you've got to volunteer, you've got to intern, you've got to go just talk to more people about research. You don't need any experience to go network with ACRP in your community. They do them in most cities every month, every 3 months at the most. Okay. You need this much experience, zero experience to go to these meetings, open your mouth and start talking about who you are, what you do, what skills do you have, who owns a clinic, what are you doing in research? Oh, nice to meet you, John. What are you doing in research? Any way I can help you? I just want to get into this space. I noticed, John, you have a podcast, and you're also doing research. Well, I want to do research, and I'm really good at editing audio. You know, can I help you with that? In exchange, you're going to help me a little bit with the research. This is what you got to do, guys. You don't just give up because jobs postings say you need experience. I mean, that's not how it works. You got to go out and get things.
Okay, that sounds really, really interesting. You know, for those people who have doubts, you know, about getting into the industry, Dan is out there to always help you out. You can always reach out to him. So, what advice would you have? Like, would you want people to reach out to you? If there's any way you can help, tell us what your organization does.
I want everyone to reach out to me wherever you want, wherever you're comfortable. Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok. I'm on TikTok lately. I need to do more on TikTok. Everywhere, wherever you want to, or just text me 949-415-6256. Email me, dan@theclinicaltrialsguru.com. It doesn't matter. I want to interact with you. I want to be a resource for you. Whether you end up joining one of my programs or not, it doesn't really matter. Like, you can get into this space, or if you are already in this space, you can grow your career within this space. I would be honored to be a resource for anybody out there. And there's different ways to do it. So it all depends on what you're trying to achieve, what the individual is trying to accomplish in this space. Hopefully I can be a resource for anyone listening or watching right now.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So will they need to have like a science background to get into the industry, or are there ways, someone with an accounting degree, can that person get into the industry?
Yeah, so it's science degrees are preferred, but not required. Okay, so if you have two candidates, let's say I'm hiring for a study coordinator role, okay, at one of my sites. If I have two almost equal candidates, no two candidates are ever equal. This is just a hypothetical, but I have two candidates on paper that are equal, and one has a science degree, the other one does not. I'm probably going to go with the science background. But if this person with the, let's say, the accounting degree, if they show me their skills, right, that I'm the employer, so when I'm interviewing, I'm thinking, okay, can I see this person doing my job as a CRC? If they're the best fit, I don't care if the other ones have science backgrounds. Like, if I think this is the best fit, it doesn't matter what their degree is, right? To be a CRA, it's a little more strict. They usually want at least a bachelor's degree. These are for the CROs who hire CRAs or the sponsors who hire CRAs. They usually want a bachelor's degree, and then they're kind of the same, They actually prefer RNs. RN is like the best CRA. If you can, in the opinion of sponsors and CROs, if you have an RN degree, you have a much higher chance, research naive, of getting hired as a CRA than someone who does not. So science is preferred, but just because you don't have a science background does not mean you can't do clinical research. That's one of the biggest myths in our industry.
Awesome. Thank you very much. You have actually answered most of the questions I've been getting. And I really do appreciate you for coming. And Well, we have some questions, just coming in now. If you don't mind, I would like to ask you. Okay, so these questions you have already answered. Yeah, this is actually talking about the non-science background. And somebody who is a medical assistant is asking if, I think she doesn't have a bachelor's. Mm-hmm. So she's a medical assistant. She wants to know if there's a possibility of her getting into the industry as well.
Yeah, there's a possibility at the site level. So you can work for a site. Okay, chances are you can be a coordinator. Initially, you'll be like a research assistant. Then you could be a coordinator. Then maybe you could be the lead coordinator. And then depending on the site, there's a lot of places you can go within the site. You can even be site director. I know people with the high school dropouts that are running sites and making 7 figures a year. So now I don't think this person would ever be a CRA because they have those strict requirements of at least a bachelor's degree. But at the site level, I don't think people realize how many opportunities there are at the site level. I mean, there's tons of opportunities in the space. And if you learn how to run a site, you can open your own site, right? So you don't need to work for anybody else. I mean, all these CRAs now coming to me saying they want to open sites. They have master's degrees. We have the high school dropout can make more.
All right, that's awesome. So apparently for those people who are interested in becoming entrepreneurs in the industry, yes, that's a good advice for them. All right, the program is titled the Morale Booster. A lot of people have dreams, but it always gets to a point where they feel, handicapped, like those who do not have bachelors, but are medical assistants, and those people who want to set up their site, Dan is the right person to reach out to. Okay, so Dan, I really do appreciate you. Thank you for joining us on this program. I hope you would always respond to us when we want you to come by on the program.
Yeah, anytime. It's a good time to be with you. Thank you very much for having me. Looking forward to listening to the episodes.
All right. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, guys.